What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial. We're going back to makeup tutorials. Simple, drama-free. I asked you guys on my Instagram and on my Twitter which palette you guys wanted me to film with out of the Vault collection by Morphe. This is the collection in collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. So there are 4 palettes that come in the Vault, but you can buy them individually. Altogether, I think it's around $40, and individually they're around $15. So I asked you guys on Instagram which palette you wanted me to do a tutorial with today, and most of you chose Bling Boss, which is the purple palette here. Especially this tone, that one is a favorite of literally everybody. So I'm going to start off by priming my eyes with a little bit of concealer. This is the way that I prime before all of my eyeshadow applications. On a Zoeva 231 brush, I am going to go in with, I think this shade here, Sparks. And I'm only going to saturate the very tip of my brush. I don't want to go too crazy on the bristles. I'm going to go place that directly into the crease. Now once I have that color pressed into the crease, I'm going to take a little bit of Hush Hush here just to blend out a little bit. Another brush by Zoeva, this is number 226, and this is just a little smudging brush, and I'm going to take that shade Hush Hush and go right over the edges of Sparks. Going back in with a little bit of Sparks, I just wanted to bring it up a little bit higher towards my eyebrow. And then I'm going to go back in with that smudging brush just to blend out that edge. I'm going to take just an empty brush, this one is by Real Techniques, and I'm going to go ahead and smooth out that edge a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back in with the smallest amount of Sparks again, and with the lightest pressure, blend the edges. And then don't forget to always raise your eyebrow just to make sure that everything is blended. This is actually blending really nice. I'm not having any problems with the blending. I think the next shade that I'm going to go in with is this one right here. This is in the shade Rockstar, and I'm just going to use that to define the crease a little bit more than what we already have going. I'm going to be using my Morphe M507 brush, which is just a super small detailing brush like this guy here. And I'm going to, again, just take it on the tip of the brush, just the tip. And that's going to go right into the crease. That's pretty. It really helps to use the shape of your eyeball as a guide. So just rest the brush along your eyeball and use that. You have to use a little bit of pressure to be able to like find your eyeball to begin with. So stick it in the crease, rest it on your eye, and literally just use your eyeball as a guide. I don't think it's too bad. It's blending out pretty nicely. I feel like the eyeshadows might be oxidizing a little bit, so I might have to set my concealer before going directly in with the eyeshadows next time. But other than that, it's not too bad. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to do is take this shade here. This is in the shade Gem, which is the gem of this entire palette. This is such a beautiful shade, and I'm actually just going to take that on my finger and apply that directly to the eyelid. That's pretty. Now once I get close to the crease color, I'm going to go in with a little bit of this shade here. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this shade here. This is Pizzazz, and I'm going to use that to blend the two. Now I'm going to take the shade Ballsy here, again on my finger, and just press that on the inner corner. Alright, so now I'm going to take a little bit of this shade here. This is in the shade Buried Treasure. Before finishing off my eyes, I'm going to finish off my face first, so I'm going to be using, you guessed it, IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I am going to be using a few new products on my face. Ooh, that reminds me. I recently was gifted the Urban Decay Rebound Complexion Prepping Spray. You guys know how much I love sprays and mists, so I'm going to, if you guys saw how much trash I have back here, I truly love this foundation, and I thought for a while that my skin was getting used to it, so it wasn't giving me the finish that I was going for, but I think my skin was just going through a bad patch because she's back. Then I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Born This Way concealer and concealing all of the high points of my face. Then I'm going to be contouring my face with my Rimmel London Insta-Duo Contour Stick. This is in the shade Deep. This is how close I am to losing my shit. I'm actually going to be really sad when I run out of this. This is my absolute favorite shade of contour slash thing to contour with. But it is drugstore, so it's not that expensive. Alright. I wanted to try out this MAC translucent powder. This is in the shade Golden Bronze. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think this is intended to be a setting powder. I think it is intended to be a highlighter or like an all-over shimmer. I wanted to see if it would set my face, so I tried a little bit down here, and it looks to be a little bit too dark, and it didn't really set my concealer. So I am going to set my face with my standard Huda Beauty setting powder. Now when I set my face, I don't like to bake right off the bat. I like to go in and press all of the powder into my skin first, really get my beauty blender warm against my skin and get everything blending seamlessly into one. And I'm just going to take the smallest amount of powder and lightly set my eyebrows. Especially if you're oily, setting your eyebrows is key to making sure that they last all day and that your edges stay crisp and they don't run. To define my contour a little bit more, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. On a Morphe E20 brush, I'm going to use this to define my nose, especially the tip. Then I'm going to take my Morphe E53 brush and I'm going to use that to define my cheeks. Next I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. This is NARS Orgasm. And I like to make my blush go all the way back into my hairline. Just to be like real mysterious, like where do her cheekbones end, you know? Using the Huda Beauty setting powder, I'm going to carve out my cheekbones. Now we can finish off the under eyes. I am going to start with the shade Hush Hush though, just to lay down that initial base. Next, on the smudging brush that I use to help blend out my top portion of the eye, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Sparks. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Rockstar and do the exact same thing that I just did. And finally, on the same brush that we used to line the top portion of the eye, I'm going to take this shade Mystic, which is the darkest matte shade in the palette, and I'm going to use that just to tightline the bottom lashes. I'm going to use a little bit of Makeup Geek Royal right in the waterline. And then I'm also going to tightline my upper eyelashes using Urban Decay All Nighter. The eyelashes that I'm going to be wearing are by the brand Kiss products, and this is in this is in the style Beehive. I'm going to use a little bit of Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter just to make sure that no hairs came stray during the process. You guys have been loving my eyebrows recently. I've been doing the soap brow, but like I haven't been tweezing my eyebrows or trimming them. So it's literally just like full grown eyebrows. Someone even asked me if my eyebrows were real. I mean, it's 2018, who knows? I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with a little bit of Urban Decay All Nighter. And then I'm also going to be using my favorite highlighter recently, and it's actually replaced my Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, which is crazy because I use that one solely religiously only since I got it. This one is the I Love Sada E collection with Dose of Colors, and this is in the shade Soul Matte. It's a little bit warmer than the Anastasia Amrezy, but that's okay. I'm going to use this to highlight the eyebrow bone. This little fan brush that I use to highlight like my eyebrow bone and my Cupid's bow, I actually got from the craft store. It came in like a craft brush collection and it was about $4, and they're so perfect. For my lips, I'm going to be using the shade Soft Touch by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And that, my friends, is the completed look. I actually really enjoyed using this eyeshadow palette. I swatched all of them yesterday and I really enjoyed the swatches as well. I know that a lot of people had difficulties with these palettes considering that there were 2 releases. The first one got repressed and then they released the second launch. So I'm not entirely sure which one this came from, but all I know is that the shadows did perform really well. I am going to be trying out the other palettes, the ones that received a little bit more backlash in regards to the blendability, and I'll let you guys know what I think about the overall Vault collection itself. But the one that I used today, Bling Boss, was actually a really good eyeshadow palette. It blended really well and the colors are so pigmented. So if you are into purple tones, I definitely recommend picking this guy up. I zoomed you guys in a little bit just to show you kind of the eyeshadow look that we created today and how the eyeshadows blended. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am doing a little giveaway on my Instagram right now where if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, enter on my Instagram for a chance to win a little fall giveaway that I have going on. It's just a few items that I pulled from my giveaway collection. I want to start doing mini giveaways here and there, so don't forget to head over to my Instagram to enter that and hit that notification button so that you guys don't miss out on an upload. We are almost at 600 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy to me because posting videos makes me feel so uncomfortable, and to know that there's like 600 people out there that are watching them constantly, it's just a weird feeling. But thank you guys so much. I plan on posting so many more videos regardless of how uncomfortable it makes me feel. I'm starting to get into the groove of just wanting to do tutorials and wanting to talk about makeup, not talk about anything else that doesn't really matter. The one thing that got me into doing YouTube and doing all of this is my love for makeup. So I just want to get back into sharing that with you guys. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.